Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mr. Fosnot, and just creating a quick frequently asked questions video today in regard to the Healthy and Hunger-Free Kids Act. We've been getting a lot of questions as school's ramping up, and we thought it beneficial for everybody to share some of the questions, some of the answers, so we can pass on some knowledge, at least begin to alleviate some of the concerns that people are having out there. So let me begin with the first question. Why are these changes being made? Well, really these changes are all stemming from the Healthy and Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010. That was an effort by Congress to adjust school meals throughout the nation, make them more healthy, reduce or limit the nutritional standards, putting them into compliance with the new nutritional guides, and also to reduce childhood obesity. Next question, what changes are being made at Ellendale School to comply with this legislation? Really those changes happened a couple years ago for us. You may have noticed that we switched to a whole grain bread and got rid of the traditional white bread in anticipation of the changes. That was just one subtle change. We haven't done a lot, waiting for the regs to come through, and now all schools throughout the nation are really striving to comply with the new legislations this fall, and those are coming to us. The most noticeable change that you'll see this fall are many more servings or offerings of fruits and vegetables. You'll see we'll be reformulating our recipes to meet with the new dietary standards, and those challenges that we have are no longer do we have to just worry about dietary minimums per day, but we also have maximums that we have to worry about, maximum carbs a week, maximum fats a week. Lastly, the one that seems to have everybody's attention is also the requirement to charge for second servings, and I'll talk a little bit about that more here later. Third question, how can we find out more about the nutritional regulations? Really, this video and my time here, I can't explain all the nutritional changes, the guideline changes. I really encourage you to go to our website, the EPS website at www.ellendale.k12.nd.us, and you can find the hot lunch section or search for EPS lunch. And on there is a couple documents that explain the dietary changes that we're putting through in the hot lunch program. It just provides a much compassed, complete explanation. Now on to some specific questions that parents are asking, and I think will be of interest to you. Will the teachers make my child eat what is on their tray before letting him go back for seconds on the salad bar, the fruits and vegetables bar? The answer to that is no. I guess starting this year, I'm directing elementary teachers to allow students this opportunity without having to go through them as, maybe not as often, but as rigorously. I want to ensure that due to the smaller serving sizes we're going to be offering, and that we want to make sure that your child's getting a complete meal, even if they don't like the main entree, that they can go back and fill up on fruits and vegetables and other items. That I'm directing the elementary teachers that, we still might want to check a tray, we still might want to have control student passage throughout the lunchroom and where our students are moving to, but we're going to be a lot less rigorous on, sorry, you can't go back to the salad bar because you haven't tried your main entree. Again, just due to these changes, there's really nothing in our hot lunch program that's not good for you, so there's really no reason for us to limit intake. Like in the past, we'd limit intake on chocolate pudding because we knew it wasn't necessarily the best dietary item, but kids really liked it. So we'd say, well, you have to eat your main entree before you get chocolate pudding. Now there's really no requirement. If the kids want to have more fruits and vegetables, good for you, have more fruits and vegetables. Next question, what items are considered seconds, and what is the fee for these? The legislation does require charging a seconds fee, or does not require charging a seconds fee on fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are really not necessarily free, but you don't have to pay if you go back to the salad bar a second time or third time or fourth time to get more fruits and vegetables. Your child doesn't incur a fee, but they do incur a fee and require a fee on items that have weekly maximums, and those most commonly are your items that have high fat or carb content. So we have to charge when kids come back and ask for a main entree, or particularly a bread because it's high in carbs. So that kids will be incurring a seconds charge for those two items primarily, and that charge is $1.25. Next question, what if my child only wants a second piece of bread? This is considered a second as soon as it surpasses the daily limit, and that usually is about 1 slice. So as soon as they come get their second slice, that's going to incur a seconds charge for that second slice. In this instance, or in this question that the parent asked, again, carbohydrates are the culprit. That second slice is an extra above the weekly maximum. We have to charge. Our seconds charge is $1.25, so they'd be charged for that item. However, if your child would want a second slice of bread along with a second offering of the main entree, that's still $1.25 for that time through. So we're going to try to not overcharge your families if we can get away with it. How does my child know what is free and what is a charged item? And I'll say this is a great question. Whoever asked it, thank you, because we hadn't considered that as a need. It has caused us to think about our process here and making it so kids are aware what is being charged and what is not being charged, so they can make a good decision. And what we've decided to do, there will be a sign, or we're thinking like a green cup or something that will identify to kids as they come through the line that this item is a charged item, and you're going to incur a charge if you ask for a second, because there's just only usually a couple items on the line that charge is going to apply to. So again, thank you for asking that question. That's helped us be better, and your child will be seeing something like that in the lunch line. Next question is, what if I don't want my child to have seconds? We've had this from many parents, primarily young elementary aged parents, or of parents of students that age, and that's really hard for us. It's hard to answer this one or have a good answer for everybody, because we're dealing with kids from 5 to 18, and they definitely have there's a different response for each age group. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to limit every kid's attempt to get seconds and know that they're supposed to have seconds before they get them. You know, a cook's not going to know every kid and every child and what your requests are. And so it's really impossible to comply with that request and not allow your kid to have seconds. However, I will say, if your child is in early elementary, particularly your K through 3 grades, please communicate your desire with your classroom teacher. You know, just tell them. Just be honest with them, and they will do their very best to try to help manage that for you. I will say, there's no guarantees. If on occasion that child would happen to take a second and be charged for it, you know, my apologies ahead of time, but we surely won't be 100% accurate on that every day, all the time with all the kids. But we will sure try to do our very best. So again, communicate that directly to your classroom teacher. If your child's in 4th through 12th grade, that really has to be a conversation we think you have to have with your child at home. You need to sit down, talk with them about it, let them know that we're going to identify which items are going to be charged, let them know your feelings about seconds and how many seconds you think they should have, you know, if it's a weekly balance or you know, amount of money that they can spend. And then I encourage you to check up on them using PowerSchool Parent. You have been able to, and still can continue to log into PowerSchool Parent, and you can see the daily lunch transactions that your child incurs. So you'll be able to see that they're charged the $2.20 for the main lunch, and that they come back for a second, there will be a charge on there for $1.25. So look for that, and then we encourage you again to deal with that with your child at home. Lastly, can my child bring his or her own dressing or other item to lunch? We actually had someone ask, say, can my child bring their own ranch dressing to lunch? And I think the inference was that they'd bring a bottle and share it with all their friends, and no, they can't do that. The answer here is kind of a yes and no. If your child wants to bring a sack lunch or their own lunch and bring ranch dressing in it in a package or a bottle, and they want to have it and enjoy it in our lunchroom, good, great, we really like that. But if a child takes our lunch offering, our main entree, and is eating our meal, we have to enforce the national guidelines and the national rules, and that says that they can only have a certain size of dressing when they get their meal. I mean, they have to live within the nutritional guidelines, so they're not going to be able to bring their own ranch dressing, kind of sneak it in to have it in addition to what we may offer. So sorry, you can't do that. We've had that before with peanut butter, and it just is we just can't allow it. The rules don't allow us to allow it. So I realize this only answers a few of the questions that you may have. You may have more. I do encourage you, if you have questions about hot lunch, please do ask. Like the question we had here previously, there are some great questions that are helping us refine what we're doing and make sure we're ready for the school year. You can call us, email the questions to me. stop by the office, and we'll continue to share your questions and these answers with as many people as we can. Thank you.